All right, folks, welcome back to the TING Open. Just quick announcement. We have a wonderfully generous $25 donation, but it has no... For some reason, I don't see it in Twitch alerts. I only see it in my email, which is weird. And it doesn't have like anything attached to it. So whoever I guess I don't want to read your name on stream. If it's you, let me know, I guess, so we can shout out a message if you wanted one or not. It's weird that it didn't show up. But thank you, Meal Mage, by the way, for the 23-month resub to kick off this game. Spawning here in the bottom left side of this brand new best of 5 is going to be True Esports Pink Zerg player, Reynor.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, he is FireCake.
Okay, so a little bit to talk about with both these players. FireCake is... the source of some of the drama that happened with the tournament and the qualifiers and whatever we know him to be. Notorious for his actions in other tournaments as well, but he is, regardless of all these things, a very good player. And again, probably the favorite to get out of this group in #1 spot. Reynor, really interesting to me, because he did qualify through. Like, this wasn't some random invite. Like, he actually qualified through the qualifier. Very young kid. One of the youngest kids we know playing StarCraft 2. From what I'm told, this is his first really, really big event, and that's kind of cool. And he's not bad at the matchup, but this is such a very strange dynamic having Reynor here over literally most other players.
I guess so. Well, we have so many groups. There is so many qualifiers. As Sia just said. As I recall, a pretty, I don't want to say easy bracket, but maybe one of the easier sides of the bracket.
Well, I mean, there's that, but he trudged through the loser's bracket, had to play hella late into the night to the point where we weren't even sure he was allowed to stay up that late type thing. And his grand finals qualifying match was a little bit underwhelming. He did go up 1-0 versus Reynor, and then Reynor just kind of tapped out. But this guy fought tooth and nail to get here, so I mean, absolutely earned his spot.
Yep, definitely. That loser's brackets can affect, well, obviously all the players, and I guess at the end of the day, he was the one that toughed it out the longest. Congratulations to him. But we'll see what he can do against FireCake. And FireCake, did get through pretty easily, and then all that stuff happened. So, but FireCake is definitely one of the best players in this group. Do you anticipate him getting out first?
Yeah, we actually had a really interesting ZvZ with him not too long ago for the Papa John's Pizza GG show matches. Him versus Snoots. Now he did lose to Snoots, unfortunately, but showed some really good games over there. And of course, the very first one there was Ultra versus Ultra. I bring this up because, well, frankly, the way the last time we saw Dust Towers today went.
Yeah, Dust Towers is playing a lot to those later stages. As we can see here, they're both already on 3 bases, so it kind of feels like it's going to happen again. I don't know about that late, but certainly to a macro game. We got +1 on the way for Reynor. He's going to stick on his Lings for a while longer. And if FireCake actually going for Roaches pretty much right off the bat. Again, they both got the 3 bases, similar to each other, so there was no worry about not having Ling speed for both of them until now. My curiosity was in whether or not one of them was going to be super hyper aggressive. With Reynor's +1, Link can actually tackle Roaches, but with the ramp available, he wasn't going to be able to really do a lot of damage, so he does throw down that Roach Warren. But FireCake is already going into a lot of Roach and a lot of Lings. And his armor supply has definitely skyrocketed up, and he's moving across the map.
We'll see if that +1 helps. We've actually cast a fair amount of games where that +1 can actually be phenomenal, and then we've also cast a lot of games where that +1 is terrible. So I'm on the fence of that FireCake's supply is going to be the upgrades in this situation. But if Reynor catches him out in the open, and those Roaches don't have their back to a wall, they're just kind of scuttling together because they know they need to clump up and make sure they don't get surrounded.
If either one of them had a Baneling Nest, this would be a lot easier to take care of those take care of the mass amount of Lings they both have, but they both skipped it. Reynor's +1 is going to finish up. He's getting a lot more Lings. FireCake is going to bother getting a Baneling Nest, which is kind of interesting because it is, like, if this attack's not going to work, and I don't know if he's really going to still attack after having to wait for the Baneling Nest, then the Baneling Nest will actually be useless if he has to go back home. But I guess maybe he's thinking, this is going to be a lot easier to deal with no matter what, because Reynor does have a massive amount of lings. And he's actually the one going to get pounced upon, which is I was not expecting by Reynor.
I mean, this is a bold move out of Reynor, but there's so many Zerglings out of FireCake, and while he doesn't have the upgrade lead, this still trades out poorly. I mean, Reynor really needs a massive amount of units. This isn't something that like 1 or 2 trades go well with. You actually need to maintain a very distinct lead. Now, he did take out a good chunk of the roaches, which is worth noting, but not enough to really stop FireCake dead in his tracks.
Yeah, well, now his Banelings are going to be morphed in, so he did wait until the Banelings. I mean, it might have been also just, like, triggered by Reynor's attack not going so well. Maybe he was planning on retreating and playing a macro game, but now he's going to go full-on in.
I like the Ravagers.
Reynor does have a Roach Warren. He just hasn't been building any Roaches, so...
Oh, Curse of Battles almost hit those Banelings. That would have been so sweet. Of course, the Ravagers can kite the Roaches even a little bit. There's no speed in play just yet. And, I'm liking this +1 more and more with the way this is shaping up. Quick note, by the way, DC Monster 821 is the one claiming that $25 donation, saying it was me. Message was, I'm hungover, and this cast plus my bullet is my medicine? What? I don't know about the bullet part of that, but I'm glad we're helping you through your hangover, my friend.
It might be, like, he's making a smoothie with, like, the bullet blender.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's go positive in the soup. Hope that's the case. Maybe he means it's like the bullet to kill the migraine.
Okay. All right.
I don't
Sounds
know.
like an extreme way to deal with a migraine.
So Spire is coming up behind this, and this is rather interesting because it is dangerous to go for this. There's no question about it. But this is what you talked about before. This is the more common way that we've seen it happen. Penguin very viciously rushes it out, whereas Reynor plays like the mid game, the upgrades aside, like he's actually got units on the field to defend while he goes to that Spire.
Right, and that's why it does seem to be the more preferable way to get to there. Is that if they are attacking you, you'll sit with the Overlords, then you could actually make that split-second decision to either continue going with your mutas or get a defensive Roach set up. Now, Reynor is down in drones, and still going to be down in drones, as FireCake is really getting to that optimal amount of around 60. And he's going to have to take care of that with these mutas. He's going to have 5 or 6 right off the bats. FireCake does not know about this at all. His first sight is probably going to be the mutas killing his overlords, which should give him plenty of time to react. It is about that snowball effect, or potential snowball effect, as you're never quite sure until you see the amount of mutas they have, if they're going to commit to the mutas, or just swap back into roaches immediately after this.
Ukel Grimbergen just sub for 12 months. Great name. Thank you so much for that 1-year trip, friend. Now this is for Reynor. I'm actually surprised to see the weapon upgrades into the mutas. I think we've seen this happen a lot, where you get 8 mutas and that's it. No more investment into them whatsoever. You just use them for map control and so forth. The fact that he's actually investing in them makes me wonder how much he's going to go for here.
Right, the +1, is like, okay, +1 plus 3 more mutas, and I think that's actually him investing, or just the +1 and 1 more mutas. Can be all different, but I think seeing the attack is going to change his plans no matter what his plans were, and he's going to have to just focus on defending right now. He still has that +1 melee, so his lings are, remember, stronger than the average ling, but FireCake's going to have +1 missile, so his roaches are going to start tearing things down a lot quicker too. But this is a lot of free damage from the mutas. Yeah. And FireCake made a bit of a mistake by trying to commit to an attack, and actually he's just going to tap out.
There was an attack in the third base, that just began as that happened. Nothing at home, and we see it here at the end of the game. Drones are dying. He lost 20 workers. that snowballed quite quickly. So GG, Reynor will be the one to take this first game, which is honestly surprising to me. Because I thought, nothing against Reynor. Just FireCake ZvZ is good. I thought this would have been a 3-0.
Oh, well, I don't know about 3-0, but I still just think that FireCake would win. But that was a lot of people do not like mutas, and we have seen more than a few games where just even 10 mutas end the game. It looks really silly a lot of time, because the other person is such a big roach force on the ground. You're like, surely this can't be tap out, but they actually can't deal with the mutas, and they know how fast they snowball.
Yeah.
And of course, their lings were tearing apart his drones.
So we're being told, by the way, bullet, I guess. I assumed was a spelling error, but is actually a name of a type of bourbon. So that makes a little more sense. Curing your hangover with more booze.
I was gonna maybe guess that's like a bottle or something, but okay.
I love Krugerson, by the way, in chat saying, "I'm glad to be here to keep BaseTradeTV company as we all suffer through these ZvZs." So, I mean, that's harsh, guys. And I know ZvZ has that stereotype of not being super fun and great, but I'm actually pretty... Like, I am not bored of this yet. And I think it'll be very clear when we get to that point. But for now, this has been pretty good so far. I'm quite happy with the matches. Regardless, we do have a map intro for Reynor. Getting into game number 2. We'll see you guys in a moment. Number 2. Alright, welcome back. I had the wrong number on the overlay before, but keep in mind every match today is going to be a best of 5, folks. So, luckily it didn't affect game number 1 too much. But you're watching the TING Open on BaseTradeTV. Rifkin and Zombie upcasting. Spawning here on the top left side of the map. He's down 1 in the series. It's Euronics Gaming's FireCake.
In the bottom left, as the pink Zerg, he is Reynor.
So, a little bit of sad news regarding FireCake, too, by the way. He was potentially going to be playing in the Acer, was it the Pro Challenge? Whatever that tournament is going on right now. He did get knocked out, however, so he didn't get the opportunity to play there. But that did mean there was no conflicts for him playing today. So, I mean, sad as that is, worked out for us. But if he lost over there, loses game 1 to Reynor, I hope his... I don't know, he could just be in a bit of a rough spot, all things considered.
That is pretty important to know. It's like he could just be in a bad state right now. Do you know who he lost to? I don't remember the players.
It was a couple days ago. I don't recall.
Oh, okay. Well, regardless, that might have just been the mutas, and I really think it was like.
Yeah. Well, the counterattack was like the nail in the coffin, of course, but
right. Yeah.
What Reynor had done that game that was so impressive was. I think if he had stayed at home and never actually jumped out on top of those roaches in the middle of the map and used that +1 advantage, I don't think he would have actually taken such a good defensive fight inside his own natural.
It's possible.
Plus, every timing he hit, there was no banelings really in play. There's just a lot of really finite things that, like, seconds difference in timings could have meant the difference in Reynor taking a good fight versus a bad fight. So, just all around, I mean, cool first game for Reynor.
Yeah. Now, it's Arena, so a very, very different map, like complete opposites, really, of Dusk Towers. And we didn't have any early pools, which, is okay. I think 1 in the early stages when you still have, games to lose, quote-unquote, is pretty good. But we do have an evolution chamber really quickly from Reynor. Maybe for that +1, it is for that +1 again. So, I don't know about this, but FireCake's also going for Roachwarn, so it is exactly like that Dusk Towers game. Just a little bit accelerated, as of course they had 3rd bases by the time they chose all of these things.
If it is exactly the same, it's actually favoring FireCake in my opinion then, because of the closer rush distance. A big part of what killed him there was straggling across the map.
So that's why it's accelerated, but they're still going for the same tech choices, and it is a shorter map, which should favor the Roach player a lot better, like hitting before +1. Because +1 also only just barely finished as the attack happened. That's another, seconds timing. It could have been, could have made things different. And if he is going to attempt to go for, the Spire again in any point, like 3 base, 2 base, what have you, that's also going to be harder to actually get out and not just die to a Roach attack.
So, not 1, but 2 spine crawlers. This will help a bit. Obviously, he was thinking more about banelings than anything else in this situation, but Roach is 100% confirmed, seeing 1 in the middle of the map. Cancel the second spine. That's actually pretty good. That'll save him some money.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say if he has 2 spine crawlers and he lets them finish, then I would really be feeling the lair, but he's entirely out of gas. So, the 1 spine crawler, just to try and really appropriately handle this Roach... possible Roach attack, I should say, is FireCake's actually droning and just clogging up the choke here.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool move, actually. Huh.
Gonna have to go to the other choke real quick, though. The Lings are on top of him. They get to the choke, no problem. The +1 melee will knock down these rocks pretty quickly, too. So, Reynor, it might be worth
He might just walk
Reynor's
around, too, though. He's got speed.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be pretty quick, but it might have been worth his time to actually break it down as he is continuing to flood with Lings. He also gets a 3rd base.
Is it wrong that as you say that, I'm just imagining Lucio in my ears? Let's break it down!
Oh, yes, it is a little bit.
Alright, so
I'm going to play that guy.
Funny enough, he's actually going to sandwich here on the Roaches. Now, he's not getting the surface area that he wants on these ones, and with the 3 queens and 2 spines at the top of that ramp, Reynor's attack actually gets wrecked, and He barely
Yeah.
takes out the roaches that were even clogging the hole in the first place.
This is gonna go so poorly now. Then, like, his army supply takes a huge dip. He got a third base, and he's gonna be able to knife FireCake's third base, probably multiple times. But he's actually blocking him off from getting back home too quickly. The 2 spine crawlers, 3 queen defense, would actually take care of this amount of lings. And Reynor's got to be feeling a little scared right now, but just trying to play it cool.
His turret's gonna be so vulnerable.
Yeah, still running around with his lings, actually going to try and break this down. If he was on top of the third, he would get a cancel, which is a little unfortunate. He decides to go for the rocks here right now. But FireCake's not going for an attack, which I think is the most important part, you know? Like, he has 900 minerals. Wow. Okay, there we go. In the bank right now, and he can't really attack with it. He doesn't want to attack with it. And that might be a missed opportunity. Reynor's own Roach Warren is coming down now.
Well, he tries to get on top of the server for a cancel, but with the roaches there, it's not quite going to happen. I mean, the lings can tear through buildings like nobody's business. This spine, what is the range on that spine crawler? Holy moly!
Long?
You know, okay, so here's the thing I don't like about spine crawlers versus sunken colonies, right?
Okay.
In Brood War, the sunken colony would put its like little tendril to the ground, so your imagination was, oh, I actually don't know how long this thing is. Maybe it really can reach that far. But the spine crawler, you can actually see it's not that long. You're like, where does it stretch from, man?
You know, I think it's all like coiled in the bottom.
But even then, like, how much area can like? Because look at it, like, how much can it really hold in there?
That much?
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
There's some lewdness going on with that spine crawler. You know what I'm saying?
I think the main problem is in the animation, though. You're right. Like, if it was more clear that it was reaching for its coil like a snake, you know?
Yeah.
But right now it just looks like it's stretching its neck.
Right, like I feel like that may have been
healthy.
what they actually went for. Like, especially with the way it's poised like this looks like a cobra ready to strike. But instead, it just looks like, yeah, something out of some hentai. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not... Ugh.
So FireCake pushes out here, but there's like so many roaches that this is not worth it. And I was worried he might have missed an opportunity, but he's still ahead in this game.
The supply is double. I mean,
yeah,
it's disgusting, frankly.
Yep. And it's a matter of time before he actually thinks he can push. And this is that time, apparently. He's hitting it before +1, but army supply is so extreme, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Kind of one of those just A-move situations. Reynor really set himself up for fail. I like the idea of that +1, and you almost guaranteeingly know he went for it because of the fact that it worked in Game 1. But it sadly did not transition well to this map, and a lot of that just had to do with, like, FireCake didn't do a lot different himself, just, again, different tactics, sitting in that little choke, forcing Reynor to go all the way around the map, not getting the surface area to take those roaches.
It was a credit to FireCake for taking it very seriously. You know, those 2 spine crawlers were a bit of a surprise when we saw them help out, but they were something that was going to ensure Reynor would never get a complete surround. He would never be able to counterattack very much.
Reynor, okay, he's down in supply. Like, I can't see him winning this, but this kind of reminds me of when Hydra was playing against Violet, and Hydra just kept throwing away all his roaches to the Ravagers. Like, FireCake's been eating a lot of really bad corrosive biles. Reynor's not bridged the supply gap enough to make this work, but I just want to point out how low that army got. GG. Now, of course, that's not the end of the series. That just simply ties it up 1-1. What is the next map?
Orbital.
Okay, we don't have an intro for that one. Which is kind of a little bit less work I got to do when we get this set up. Okay, so I don't know what to say, guys, other than that we have a lot of Zerg today, and I've seen one particular person in chat. I'm not going to try and give them too much attention, but I know there are some of you who are like, what the fuck, Zerg versus Zerg? And we get it. Like, we had a TVT only tournament we cast for $2,000, guys. We know what people, how jaded they can be about mirror matchups, and especially if the day is only mirror matchups. But this group is unfortunately like this because it was, as weird as it is to believe, popular opinion, popular votes. The last person in the group was elected thanks to a lot of people. It was like something like 400 people, 300 people voted on that Twitter poll. Yeah,
of course, the first 3 were to Zerg. They actually made it to the qualifiers, so that didn't help start it all out. But then for everyone to be like, yeah, 4th stroke sounds great, it was
I know.
all your fault.
It's like, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, is there like a Twitter bot I could buy that could just like vote for the other option.
Yeah. Yeah, but this has been a fun ZvZ day.
So
I
far,
was really
yeah.
worried going into this, thinking about what the possible games you could have. Certainly not the first 5 games that we saw. And even they're going by pretty quickly. We see some interesting tactics. It is no longer Roach and just Roach. And it's more fun.
Yeah.
More fun.
Yeah.
More fun.
But all right, folks, we continue here with the Ting Open $5,000 tournament. This is, of course, the group stage, the wild card group, and it is tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. Spawning here in the bottom left side of the map, it's Euronics Gaming's FireCake.
In the top right, as the pink Zerg, he is Reynor.
Of course, reminding everybody to go check out bttv.ting.com if you want to check out stuff to learn more about Ting. But they are pretty exclusively not pretty exclusively. They are exclusively a United States phone service. So unfortunately, if you're outside of the United States, you will not be able to gain their services or the benefits they offer. But if you are in the United States, I do hope you will check them out, because they not only do they offer good deals, blah blah blah, but they are actually good business people. Like, and I don't mean in terms of like they get a lot of customers, but they do business in a very good for the customer type of way.
Okay.
Respectable
Yeah,
works,
either way
too.
you put it. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Orbital Shipyard, a lot more like that Dust Towers game, so we might see some pretty quick third bases. But Reynor going for the +1 melee twice in a row. Once works fine, once works really badly. I don't know if he's gonna go for a third time.
The bot would appear to be dead, so I'm gonna quickly just put my camera on you for a moment while I go fix it.
Alrighty then. So, hey, I fixed the angle.
Nope, it's still dead. Be right back.
Oh, dang. Well, for me, it was like a little bit like under. Actually, it's still zoomed in. There we go. So, like I said, the +1 melee, I don't think Reynor could really do that again. It was surprising to see him do it on such extreme differences of maps, like Dust Towers being so big. You could see definitely where Lings would actually be very effective with that. But then on Arena, you could maybe see, like, well, if he got it early enough, I guess he could still get into all the bases. Like, that would still work, but he would never have a ton of time to do a lot of counterattacks and whatnot. So that was a little more questionable. So if he does it a third time, I'd say just he realized the map wasn't a great choice, but I would prefer him not to. I think he has other builds in his pocket, doesn't have to rely on that. It wasn't a trick, but that style, that composition. The beta nest actually looks like it's trying to be hidden over here by FireCake, which is a little funny. A lot of times in ZvZ, we just see them not care if they see it or not, because it's going to be about seeing the amount of lings that come out, not the bailing nest is going to determine whether they're actually going to use it, basically. Do have a couple of lings outside. I thought they were going to morph into banelings, and then I missed them entirely. Raynor's own lings will be able to get a scout. They see a drone on the way. Okay, that's not what we want.
So, update on the bot. Something's going on with Twitch, guys, because 5 different IPs and 2 different ports, nothing works. So the bot is sadly just going to be down for a while, I guess. I'll look more into it once we get after this best of 5 concludes, but I don't think it's something that's going to be easily fixed.
Huh. Maybe Twitch is just like, everyone's so excited about this Pokemon announcement.
Right? Oh my god, I'm actually pretty excited about that. Yo, that first Pokemon movie, when Pikachu was like crying for Ash, I was crying in real life, man, okay? Like, that was a real moment.
I love that first movie, but like, the Bob Ross thing, I guess, like, I can't imagine it's too difficult to get something like that hooked up, right, with the copyright and whatever. But for Pokemon, that's actually really surprising.
I actually think not. That may be a good move, because aren't they debuting that Pokemon...
Oh, I think it's a great move for both of them, because they are, they're being the new in real life Pokemon thing or whatever. But it's just, I don't know, to show all the movies and TV, like it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be interesting to see Twitch chat too. What new memes will be created? Ruined, saved.
Actually, the fan art from Twitch Plays Pokemon is still some of my most favorite. But a couple of sneaky banelings here on the right side. Not going to get seen initially by FireCake. However, not much really catch, right? Like, you're not going to have drones to pick off.
Yeah, he wanted to go behind the lings. That's why he's trying to still poke in with his lings. But Like, I don't. It looks kind of odd. There he goes now. There's kind of no point in him being hidden.
By the way, ooh, that actually shades out really well for Reynor. Not enough lanes to take advantage of this, though. Shout out to Fernandez66, by the way, says they just finished buying their SIM card or ordering their SIM card from TING. And then someone was asking about the 40 number. Yeah, so for those who don't know, the numbers we were given from TING are pretty much, if we can get 40 people signed up and trying TING by the end of this tournament, they will be more than happy to come back with another at least $5,000 tournament down the line. More than 40 might convince them to put more money into it, but at least 40 guarantees us another round, which I think is going to be awesome. And at last check, I think it was like there's 30 accounts signed up, but only 19 activated or something. Either way, that's still good. That's great. That's exactly where we want to be. So, shout out to Fernandez66, literally saving esports. Thank you so much.
All right, so we also have double Spire in play here. So FireCake did get a third base, but it's not really droned up. So it's still almost called a two-base Spire, whereas Reynor's getting his third right now. Now, the problem for Reynor is that the gas geysers are really important in Muta versus Muta. A little bit later on, as again, FireCake's not quite mining from them yet, but he does get them first, knowing how important it is.
Yeah, we've talked about this quite a bit, actually, where we all know the rules of Muta versus Muta. Even though as casual StarCraft fan knows, one extra Muta in a Muta war, go and make all the world of difference. Getting that one extra Muta, though, is very difficult. Now, we're talking a lot about the Mutas, but if Reynor's not careful, this game might end before Mutas even come into play. Oh, God, that's a lot of lings. And these Banelings are not going to complete? Oh, jeez.
Well, this is not how I expected the game to potentially end here. That's a lot of lings. They're starting to get cleaned up a little, but...
The Mutas are on the way. If you can keep a decent enough drone count through this, his third base wasn't canceled or killed. He's got to stack these bad boys up and fight with them.
All of his queens dying here. Keep in mind, the third one was spreading creep, so no more lava injects for his own lings. And while Muta's... Oh, Jesus.
That was all the stacked up drones. Oh, God, 25 workers died. That's it.
Lings can't be forgotten about, as we can see here. This is why Reynor would lose this game.
There's no way to compete. There's just no way to compete. If there was some sort of counterattack that was set up behind this, maybe. But being down half the workers means he's not going to have the money for those mutas. And that's what we were talking about before. Like, right now, there's a decent amount of mutas for Reynor. But as long as FireCake gets enough money to build one extra mutalisk, he wins. In fact, he's already going to be getting hit 12 versus 7.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's game over. Reynor, I think he knows it, but he's maybe hoping that the mutas would be able to do something, but they're going to meet mutas, and it's going to be like, oh, never mind.
GG. FireCake will take game number 3, giving him a very nice lead now in the series. However, we are once again going to cut away to a small commercial break, a small word from our sponsors. We won't be gone for too long, and we'll see you guys in a moment with more of the Ting Open as I try and remember which scene this ad is on. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Okay, there we go. Failed at unmuting things and muting things because sound is difficult to manage. But ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It's game number 4, and this could determine the fate of poor Reynor, depending on how this goes. Spawning on the bottom left side of the map. He's up 2-1. It is Euronics Gaming's FireCake.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, it's Reynor. I was going to say yellow. What the hell?
Thank you very much to Sweffy Mo for the 14-month resub. As we get into this game, it's a nice kickoff. Now, Reynor came out of this gate strong, right? Like, he took that one off of FireCake, that looked amazing. Alrena was not a big fan of trying to use that same +1 weapons, but it was good, despite the fact that it failed on him. It was good to see diversity coming into map 3, knowing that Reynor wasn't a one-trick pony who had this like one build in his sleeve and that was it.
Yeah, I touched that out a little bit when you're trying to get the bot fixed or whatever, but I don't think he was going to be going for the same thing every single game, but then of course getting caught off guard by Lings was his downfall, oddly enough, not investing into the melee. We'll see if that's the same case here. FireCake in hand did go for pretty similar builds, so I don't think so. Kind of those safe builds that do get speed pretty quickly.
And just reminding everybody really quick before we get too far into the game, the bot unfortunately is down. I don't see any updates regarding this, but it cannot connect through, like I've tried 5 different IPs for it to connect to, and neither of the ports are working either. It's giving me an error I've never seen before, because in the past when it wouldn't connect, it would just say like, an error straight up connecting, but wouldn't define why. It is specifically stating that it cannot connect to Twitch, so I'm not sure what the deal is, because it uses an IRC client, and I don't know, I'm not a genius, I don't know how this shit works, I just know that it's not working. So we will, like I said, after this best of 5, go look at trying to restart it and kick it out and hopefully bash it till it works, but for the time being, for this best of 5, we will just leave it offline so we don't worry about it.
Well, FireCake is the one going to get a Baneling Nest first. As in the last game, it's more about if they get any lings that you would know that they're actually going to use said Baneling Nest. Reynor with a Spine Crawler on the high ground is going to be a lot more defensive.
Yeah, this
came
came
his
down,
own Baneling Nest.
Right, this came down before he even saw anything, so this was him just playing super safe on this map. It's costly to do this, and not necessarily a great move, but it will keep him safe from anything FireCake might throw at him early on. But FireCake is droning right now, and he's not looking to throw a lot at him yet. Asterisk.
Yeah, he got a couple of lings to roam around with, and then just went back on a droning. So we'll see how Reynor reacts, because now it's up to him. Does he just respond correctly and also drone and not take this too seriously, or does he actually try and just make a lot of lings and actually counter? Because he's gonna have a Baneling Nest himself. Like, he could be the one that gets aggressive. Looks like they're gonna bounce off of each other and just drone. Just more drones.
People are accusing me of killing tempo. Yep, that's exactly what I do every time I mute him.
Yeah, muting is like killing people. That's true.
Then he comes back on the cast with Ravi sometimes, just out of revenge.
Yeah. We have a roach warring coming out for FireCake now. I mean, they both opened the most standard way you can in ZvZ, so pretty safe too, actually, with the really gas and spawning pool. But no one skipped speed, no one skipped the Baneling Nest even, and maybe one of them could have gotten away with it because they've both been macroing, and then they're both going to go into roaches, or I would assume so. But Reynor takes a third base first. That could be problematic if FireCake decides to use the roach warren immediately and make a lot of drones and push. It's not the smallest map, but it is these horizontal spawns, so you can get to your opponent's base pretty quickly. He's making lings. He needs overlords, though. FireCake's gonna be supply blocked.
That was actually a nice scout, that one ling getting in there to see everything.
Where's the overlords?
So I'm not sure what you've done or haven't done recently, by the way, where people are discussing getting your attention in chat, but I just want to throw out, if you guys really want to get Zombie Grub's attention, start talking about Star Wars incorrectly. That will trigger something.
Yeah, I have no idea what these guys are talking about.
Like, my favorite part about Star Wars was when that one Wookiee used his lightsaber. That was cool.
Well, actually, Wookiees, I think in the extended universe, have...
Okay, well, what about when Lando Calrissian got frozen in carbonite?
Okay, there you go. See, that's just...
Like, see, here's the problem. I actually know in, like, Star Wars, it's hard to think of something trolly and stupid to say that doesn't piss me off while I'm saying it. It's like, Kylo Ren was handsome. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to agree with that.
Okay, so Reynor's Overlord getting in a little bit deep, unfortunately, is going to lose this, but that's not his concern right now. It might be actually as a very, very volatile supply block maybe on the way. But back at home, he's got roaches up. He could certainly be defending this location instead of huddled around the spine. Small counter-attack setup, but ooh, eats a Baneling to the face, so only 3 lings actually get through. And these are going to try and hide and become Banelings, but it's in plain sight.
What a place to hide.
Yeah.
Or up against a ledge, they'll never see us.
This is some like really bad movie type stuff. Like you turn the corner and just hold your breath, and the police officer keeps running by without looking left or right. Like that never happens.
Yeah, you get underneath the box and you hide there, and they're like, "Okay, makes
okay,
sense."
snake, calm down." Speaking of snakes.
Oh, look at that. So this game is really evened out here. Even drones. Reynor does have a little bit of a lead in the army, mostly because he's not investing into upgrades. He didn't get a lair. He doesn't have speed, obviously, because of that, and no +1. So it's going to be about an all-in versus someone who wants to get to those upgrades, and they'll be in it to basically win it. And FireCake is up 1, so if he wins this game, he'll be going on to the winners, which will be played after the losers.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. If you actually knock down those rocks, you'd have a much shorter rush distance for these slower roaches. That would have actually been hugely helpful. But starting this at the top, the ramp, FireCake's not too far behind on the roaches, but he is behind on the roaches. And Reynor looking to hit hard. There's a couple Ravagers in the back end of this, so the odd Corrosive Bile might come down. Hit maybe 1 or 2 of these Roaches if lucky. Drone's getting pulled because FireCake not underestimating his situation.
Yep. He's not doing so badly, but I think in this situation you would have wanted a couple of your own Ravagers, especially as they continually go up the ramp.
His Roach count just doubled with the new spawn. I mean, a lot of them are almost dead, and he's going to have this drop off pretty quickly, but Defender's Advantage is a hell of a thing, and Defender's Advantage looks like it is going to be good enough in this situation. Now, FireCake comes out of this innately just 10 drones ahead, despite losing 1 or 2, but also all of that tech we had mentioned before. There's speed on his Roaches. There's +1 in just a few seconds' time. This attack from FireCake is actually going to be really good, catching some of the Ravagers on the back end coming out of this.
Looks like FireCake's going to win this game. Reynor's trying to catch up with the lair now, but all the upgrades have finished for FireCake. He's going to just rally forward with Roaches and wants to actually close it out here. He's going to get the third base, and that should be GG. It's actually just going to target it. A couple of lings and into the natural of FireCake, but not enough to make up for losing an entire base here.
Yeah, and he just pulls the drones. I love this guy in chat. It's just yelling, "Greedo shot first," all caps. I think you're going in the wrong direction with trolling here. It's not. Okay, so yeah, FireCake looking to lock down this series 3-1. This is again a little bit more what I expected. I got nothing against Reynor. I was really impressed with his playing game, number one, and I thought this series was going to be a crazier, I guess, one than it ended up being. Oh, Spine's coming down. Desperate.
Yeah, this is desperation. Of course, it is his last game in this series, but he would go on to face Penguin, and well, actually, maybe I could see a lot of Zergs not liking facing Penguin and ZvZ, to be honest. So maybe he is scared of going down there. But he would just go into the losers match, which would be played right after. Trying to the last.
Yeah. Kind of funny, actually, if it is Reynor versus Penguin, by the way, Reynor used to be on my Insanity. Isn't anymore, obviously.
Oh, yeah?
So it's going to be kind of an interesting... I wonder if it's like a grudge match there at all, or if he left on good terms with the team.
I don't know about that.
The Spines actually do get to complete. However, it's just too late and too few, and there we go. GG.
GG.
Congratulations to FireCake, who will ultimately take the series 3-1. But as stated, we do losers match first on BaseTradeTV, so FireCake will have to wait a little bit, maybe take a bit of a break, as we do Penguin versus Reynor next. We'll just get Penguin to join the alternate channel, because we're having trouble getting people into the normal one. So we'll go to another break for Ting. We're going to show you guys the smartphone giveaway again, the unboxing of it, because it's the newest video we have from them. But I'm glad they keep supplying us with new content to show you. Of course, before I go to the commercial break showcasing the giveaway, the reminder is that you can enter in to win this smartphone, Samsung Galaxy J7, by simply tweeting at TingFTW, asking them any question your heart desires. It can be like professional about their business. It can be silly about Rifkin or Zombie Grub, or even this tournament. But just make sure to put the hashtag TingOpen to lock yourself in. And even if you're not a U.S. resident who cannot win a cell phone, you can still get part of the yourself entered into the AMA, which a video will be made. They'll be answering your questions. And we'll be playing that video on stream a little bit closer towards the round of 8, I believe. So make sure to get on Twitter, guys. Chance to win it for your phone. It's worth a couple $100. Easy peasy. But here's that unboxing video, and we'll see you soon.